Are we sinners by birth? Part 2.
Now let us see how it came into us. I Samuel 15:24, T've sinned, Saul replied to Samuel. T've broken the Lord's command and your word, because I was afraid of the people and listened to them. Saul says that he commits sin by breaking the command of the Lord. He did not say that he was a sinner by birth. So, it has to be clear that we are turning sinners by breaking the command of law, and it has nothing to do with our birth. God has not made us as sinners, but because of the activities that we do throughout our lives makes us sinner. Ecclesiastes 7:29, I have discovered only this, God made human beings for righteousness, but they seek many alternatives. When God made us, He made us righteous and wanted us to continue with that righteousness, but men have turned against God by disobeying His words and not following Him. Genesis 6:5, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. C. Is the relationship between a husband and wife a sin? Hebrew 13:4, marriage is honorable among all, and he bed undefiled, but fornicators and adulterers God will judge. According to God, marriage is honorable among all and the relationship between them is undefiled. God has said that the relationship between husband and a wife is pure. Now, let us see whether bearing a child is sin. Genesis 1:28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. It was God who blessed Adam and Eve, stating they have to be fruitful and multiple such that they subdue this earth. When God Himself blessed Adam and Eve to bear children, then how can childbearing be a sin? God Himself gave permission to Adam and Eve to fill this earth. A relationship between a male and a female without marriage is considered as sin, but the relationship between husband and wife is considered as pure in the sight of God. I Corinthians 7:36, if a man thinks he is not behaving properly toward his virgin, and if his passion is so strong that he feels he ought to marry her, let him do what he wants, he isn't sinning. Let them get married. Marrying saves us from committing sin. So, marriage is not considered a sin. I Corinthians 7:2, because sexual immorality is so rampant, every man should have his own wife, and every woman should have her own husband. So, marriage is never considered as a sin, and the physical relationship between the husband and wife is pure. God wanted many children through whom He wanted to be glorified. This thought of God was in His mind even before the existence of universe. With this thought He created this universe for us and created the first man Adam and created Eve from his rib and gave him her as wife and blessed them to increase the number of humanity such that they develop in vast numbers and glorify God in their life. Ephesians 1:4-6, according as He hath chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Jesus Christ to Himself, according to the good pleasure of His will, to the praise of the glory of His grace, wherein He hath made us accepted in the Beloved. Many think that a child is born by the physical relationship between male and a female, which is wrong. We are not born by physical relationship, but a child is a gift of God Himself. We see many remain childless even after marriage. It is God who gives this gift. Psalms 127:2-3, It is useless to get up early and to stay up late, eating the food of exhausting labor. Truly He gives sleep to those He loves. Children are a gift from the Lord, a productive womb, the Lord's reward. Children are the gift of God. God wanted all parents to teach their children about God and His love, Deuteronomy 6:6. He made marriage honor in all because they give birth to a child and they bring up this child with the love of God so that they've preach His love in whole nations, but people have forgotten the plan of God behind marriage and are dreaming to make their children as worldly professionals. Children are the gift of God, which should be given to God as a strong arrow in His armor. Children are not born as sinner. John 9:2-3, His disciples asked Him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that caused him to be born blind? Jesus answered, Neither this man nor his parents sinned. This happened so that God's work might be revealed in him. Any person is not born a sinner, he is born for the glory of God. I Corinthians 7:14, For the unbelieving husband has been sanctified because of his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified because of her husband. Otherwise, your children would be unclean, but now they are holy. Children are holy. Dear readers, remember that children are the gift of God, who are holy. They are given to us in an expectation that we bring them up for God and make them great soldiers in the kingdom of God. Let us not consider them as sinner, but consider great gifts of God and make them great warriors for God.